Hello Legacy Sabers, Marsh here. So today we're going to look at negative and zero exponents. What you're going to want to have on you, your notes, a writing utensil, and then also a calculator today. So the very first thing we want to talk about is zero as an exponent. So any base, the power of zero is equal to 1. Not x, not 2, 1. So if I would have any of the following examples. If I have negative 3.60, that is equal to 1. 5 million, that's equal to 1. 3, A, B, all taken to 0, that's 1. Even me, Marsh, taken to 0, that is 1. Same thing, if I do x to the 0, that is not x, that is 1. Can treat it as the idea of, if I would have x to the 4th over x to the 4th, we get x to the 0, right? By the quotient property that we recently learned about. Well, but think of it also this way. If I have 4 x's on top over 4 x's on bottom, cancel, 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 I'm left with 1 because everything canceled out. So keep that in mind. 0 means 1. So that basically makes the thing disappear, if you want to call it that, or just makes it a 1. Alright, now we need to talk also about negative exponents. So first of all, we're going to talk about them. To turn a negative exponent into a positive exponent, basically what you're going to do is move the base and the exponent attached across the fraction line and change the sign of the exponent. Let's take a look at a couple examples. So I have x to the negative 2 and y to the negative 3. To get rid of these negative exponents, you need to move them to the other side. Not just the exponent though, you're going to take everybody, the base that he's attached to. So what I like to do is I like to circle them and put an arrow pointing where they need to go. So this guy's on top. To make him a positive exponent, he's going to move to the bottom. This guy on the bottom, he has a negative exponent, so he's got to move to the top. So that kind of lets me know, where am I moving these guys? So this x to the negative 2, he's going to be on the bottom now. Y to the negative 3 is going to be on the top. When he moves to the top, he's no longer a negative. He's now a positive exponent. Same thing with that x to the second. He's also a positive now. Let's try this next one. So I got 5a cubed b to the negative 2. This guy, he needs to move. But you're probably saying, well, Marsh, there's no fraction line anywhere in this problem. There is. I can draw one. Okay, there's none right there, but technically you can draw it there and put a 1 down here. We just don't do it because it's understood. So I'm going to take him and move him to the bottom. Notice though, not taking anybody else. I'm only taking the base that has the negative exponent. I'm not taking a 5. I'm not taking the a cubed. Only the guy that has the negative exponent. Do not take more than just him, okay? So I still have 5a cubed left over on the top. B to the second on the bottom because my negative exponent changes. What about x to the negative 5? Well, notice it's negative, right? So he needs to move to the top. So we would have 1x to the 5th on the top. Nothing on the bottom except for an understood 1, but we don't need to write it there. Let's try some examples of both of them together. You're going to want to write this down, so there should be a pencil in this corner. Don't forget that. Alright, so very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to circle some people that need to move around. So this guy's got to move. So let's move him. So I'm going to have 2x to the 8th, y to the 4th, over 4x to the 8th. Notice I have x's on top and bottom, so that's the quotient rule, right? That's the one we just learned. So we're going to subtract that. So we're going to have 2, 4, x to the 8th. So that would be x to the 8 minus 8, right? Because you're going to subtract. Well, 8 minus 8, that's 0. So this would be 2/4 x to the 0, y to the 4th. And remember, x to the 0, guys, is 1. So basically, that's going to cancel out. And I'm going to be left with 2 over 4y to the 4th. But notice, guys, the last thing you're always going to want to do on these problems, check if there's any numbers in here, check to make sure that can't simplify. So I have 2 over 4. We need to divide a 2 out of both of them, I think. So 2 divided by 2, I'm going to get a 1 up there. And 4 divided by 2, that is a 2. So my final answer for this problem is that one in particular. Let's look at this one. So I got z to the 0. Remember, guys, that's just a 1. So that basically is going to cancel out. And I have this x to the negative 3. So we got to draw in our fraction bar and drop them to the bottom. So who's still on top? Well, it is 5 and times the 1. So that's just basically 5 on top, right? This guy, he moved to the bottom. So it's going to be x cubed for my final answer for that one in particular. Now, let's do this one. This guy, negative exponent, he's the only guy that's got to move. So, and then I got 2x to the 0. Remember, that's going to basically cancel out because that's just a 1. So let's rewrite here. So we got still on top, 4x cubed, and I have 2y to the 5th, and then this guy moved to the bottom. What that means is now he's going to be multiplied by whoever's on the bottom, just kind of like that. He's just going to kind of join. But now we have 2 y's together on the same side, right? Let's combine them to make them into one thing of y. So that's going to be y to the, it's a product rule, so we got to add. So 5, 6, 7. We're going to have y to the 7th on the bottom now. Last things, 4 over 2. That does simplify down to just 2 over 1 for my final answer. And that's the end of this video. See you later, Sabers.